Jill is reading her book with her friends.
So many friends.
So many friends. How do you get so many friends?
I'm popular.
Just be a good personality?
No, and I've had my shower and everything. I'm not stinky.
Hey Matt, found my new favorite energy drink. We have just left the Lake Indoon camping area. Pretty bloody good, I got to admit. There wasn't very many people around there at all. The campsites were all spread out. The amenities block was clean. It ticked all the boxes. Cyclone Ilsa has crossed the coast, and it's blowy as anything here at the moment. I don't know whether this is related to the cyclone or not, but we had a pretty blowy night. But we were toasty warm in our bed, so that was all good. We are heading towards Kalbarri now. No plan, don't know where we're going, just north. And we don't want to get there too quickly until this cyclone dies out a little bit. It's a Cat 3 at the moment, and it's traveling east, which is away from us. So that ticks all the boxes, but we just don't want to run into any rain shadow.
Feeling for everybody impacted by the cyclone, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. They were saying 310 kilometer winds at the eye when it crossed the coast. It's just hard to wrap your head around something like that.
Yeah.
We're at a small little inlet called Illawong, and have a look at that ocean. We've been spoiled by all these really blue oceans. That looks nasty. That looks like Lake Erie, where I was born. Cyclone has just crossed the coast north of here, so perhaps that's got something to do with what we're experiencing here. It certainly is windy enough at the moment. We pulled off to a little place called Illawong and had a quick look there, and then this little track is running alongside of the coast. I'm expecting it'll join back up with the highway at some point in time, because there's not a lot of room between us and the highway. This is a cute little spot. Little she oak tree and a beach. Very cute. And shack thing. Oh, there's the highway. I can see caravans right there. We're in like touching distance of it. I wouldn't be surprised if little tracks like this run along the coast all along, where people have poked out to have a look or to try and find a campsite or whatever. And this particular one we're on is not marked on any maps. There's one off to the left, which probably continues along the coast, and this one's going to pop out to the highway, I'd suggest. And there is our highway. We found a sign on the road, just like we did the last time, to a place called Ellendale Pool. And on reflecting on that, our friend Joanne, who was born in Geraldton, told us about it and said, oh, you might want to check out Ellendale Pool. So we kind of joined a couple of dots, and here we are at Ellendale Pool. We got a person here that we're happy to run down. 2 people.
There's a big river next to us.
This looks like a popular spot. There's a little play area for children. Toilets. Everything. We pulled up for lunch at Ellendale Pool, and it's picturesque enough. There's corellas everywhere. Big flock of them over in the trees. You can see them perched up inside of the little nooks and crannies on the cliffs as well.
Look at all the birds. So many birds.
The camping area is packed, and everything is bollarded everywhere.
There's Terry at a picnic table, and corellas are all up in the trees above.
Good place for a picnic, but not a place for us for camping, unfortunately. Well, Jill and I have found a lovely little camping spot called the Eridu Nature Reserve, and we just got to go down a steep pinch here to the river. But when you get down there and have a look at this, you will be impressed. I think that's why there's so many flies here. They like it too.
They like a poo.
Yes, they do. beautiful, clean, flowing, sandy bottomed river. We're going to pull up right here. After I let the tires down because we're on full pressures. I was just hoping we could get here.
I was like, we're on full tire pressure. We're going down.
We're going down, man.
Wherever you want to pull to, just a
Like
bit ahead.
one car length forward. All right, let's try this again with appropriate tire pressures. That's better. Floating on top now.
A few flies. Oh, in my ear. Getting our camp spot. Need to dig some holes. It's beautiful.
Have a look at this for our campsite. Absolutely stunning. We are in the Eridu Nature Reserve on the Greenall River. To get down here is a very steep four-wheel drive track. You will need low range to get down here, and it's definitely not a road for caravans or camper trailers. It's much too thin and windy to get down. And we're camped in the riverbed. Now, before you go and rage on me that we're camped in a riverbed, and there's a cyclone that's just hit the WA coast, and we're going to get flooded out, we have taken a couple precautions. First of all, we've turned the truck around and pointed it towards the exit, so if we need to make a quick exit, we can. Second of all, I had a look on Google Maps to find out where the headwaters of this Greenall River are, and it's not too far from where we are at the moment, actually. So the catchment isn't where that cyclone went through. Having said all of that, that might be a risk that you choose not to take, and if that's the case, you can camp way up on the bank there. And one other thing that I checked out is that this river has not flooded in quite some time. Lots of tire tracks down here, lots of footprints, and no signs of flooding for quite some time. So that gives us a little bit of confidence as well that we'll be all right. But it is taking a risk, no doubt about that. Some of you would say a foolish risk. Others would say a risk worth it. You make your own decisions, we've made ours. When you are down, however, you are treated to a beautiful, shallow, sandy-bottomed river with crystal clear running water. It is just sensational. Evening time is a-coming, time for a cold drink, and I'll throw the drone up and have a look around here as well. One of our favorite camping spots so far. Jill preparing tea. Yummy! Able to do, or we haven't been able to do too often, is fill up our water jug for our shower water in a river. This is beautiful, clear water. I don't know whether I would drink it without boiling it, but for showers, perfect. I found a little hole where we actually have enough depth. This water dropped overnight, so it isn't too long before this river is going to dry up, unfortunately. That's the way it goes.
What's the name of this river, Terry?
Greeno, G-R-E-N-N, no, G-R-E-E-N-O-U-G-H.
What's the name of this reserve?
Not knowing. I can't remember the name of the reserve, hon.
Started with an E.
E, something E-D-U-R.
Udlow? No, I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. But it's a great little reserve. That's for sure. Coming out of our riverbed camp now, and it was 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved that one.
Airing back up.
We're leaving our Riverside camp now, heading to destinations unknown, other than we're going north. Eridu Conservation Reserve, or
Nature Reserve.
Nature Reserve, that's right. Just a tiny, tiny little reserve, but boy, it packed a punch. I'd say we were all of a kilometer off the road, maximum. From our secret little camp, we traveled back out towards the coast before swinging north to visit Hutt Lagoon. It's an amazing, highly saline body of water that is home to the world's largest microalgae production plant, which produces, among other things, beta-carotene.
The lake does look really pink. That's really cool.
Well, we've let our tires down to about 17 psi. We've paid our $15 camping fee, and we are heading into Lucky Bay. Now, there are a whole host of caravans and crap like that in here, which is a bummer, but as we get closer and closer to Exmouth, we're obviously going to bump into more and more and more people. However, there might be some beach/dune camping where we can get away a little bit further. That's what the map looks like anyway, so we're going to give that a crack. No idea what the tides are, no idea if the tides make a difference. All of that is yet to be discovered.
It's pretty much a parade heading north at the moment for the eclipse.
Yes, that it is.
See every rental vehicle, Brits and Winnebago-y van thing, car, everything that could be rented.
It's quite a large beach, isn't it? Far out. Jeff Wilson would be all over that, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oof. The wave ate him. There are tracks just laced and looped through here everywhere. You can certainly get away from people here, which is pretty cool. Here's the main track here. See how the sand has got a shimmer or a sparkle to it?
It is pretty.
It is
There's some rocks out here that
Like
those big waves hit.
Oh yeah, there's out there too. Yeah, big reef or something.
Oh, Terry's getting excited. Aren't you, Terry? I can tell. You're like, sand dune. It's pretty hard underfoot.
It's very hard underfoot. Yeah. Wow, it just keeps going and going, doesn't it?
Pretty cool.
We'll go down there out to the beach and head back out. Wow, I like this Lucky Bay. This is awesome.
I like it better than, what's the name of that other one?
Yeah, with all the
People and the buggies and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lancelot.
Lancelot. That's
Yeah,
it.
me too. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it a lot. That's cool, the way that fuzz.
Yeah, you can see the sand blowing. I hope the GoPro can pick that up.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Sand blasting.
That's beautiful. You got this sort of a little artificial reef almost, isn't it? There's the Four Dunes at Lucky Bay. Here comes Jill up the Lucky Bay Hill. You couldn't hear her, but she said she didn't have a pail of water. Beautiful beach here at Lucky Bay. Just stunning. Yeah, we're getting sandblasted. It's pretty windy. Don't know whether the camera's picking this up, but this is all pink sand. I believe it's garnet because there's some garnet mines around here as well. Sandblasting, sandpaper, that sort of stuff. We're running along the beach at Lucky Bay, heading back towards the entrance area. And you know what? We're gonna camp here and I rate it. Shit ton of people, but enough space that you're not on top of each other, which is awesome.
Lucky Bay.
Sun's starting to go down. Jill's just finishing her tea off, and I've got a little bottle of Gentleman Jack sitting beside my chair. Yes, temperature is dropping down significantly, yes. I have my beanie on. Jill's about to put some track pants on. But what a location! Lucky Bay, we likey. That's cool, it's got sensors everywhere.
Terry's new drone. Sky is really pretty tonight.
Our day today is spent exploring Kalbarri National Park. It's easy bitumen roads throughout the area with two main sections to explore. We will start with the coastal cliffs before moving on to the Murchison River, which happened to be in flood at the time of our visit. Island Rock at Kalbarri, and some poor fool has lost his ball cap. It's blown off, landed on the cliffs, and he wasn't game to climb down there and get it. That must be where it gets its name from, that little island rock. The cliffs are pretty decent size here too. Not as high as the Nullarbor, but they're decent. The next stop on the cliff walk is a natural bridge. Not as big as the old Victoria Natural Bridge, but it's a natural bridge nonetheless. It's pretty cool, and it's not broken.
There's a pod of dolphins out here in front of us, and they are cool.
They're like fighting one another and pushing each other sideways and carrying on. The next lookout on our Kalbarri agenda is this one, and they call it Shell House. I know not why. Maybe there's a house down there built with shells. There's actually a sandy bottom down there. That's neat. And I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but out there is the water is discolored, and that's where the Murchison River is dumping into the ocean.
This is Seashell Grandstand.
We're now at the next lookout north called Eagle Rock. And I must say, Daddy, it is cool. All you old timers will get that one. This little lookout is called Pot Alley. Again, no idea where it got its name from.
Look at these people posing. I've got the camera on the bonnet. Watch out for these children. They were running for the video. I am in Pot Alley Gorge in Kalbarri National Park. Beautiful.
Why is this called Pot Alley, you ask? Well, it's obvious, isn't it?
Look at those waves. And flies.
No, it's not obvious. I've got no idea.
I don't know if the video is going to show up how nice and sparkly it is down here. Very pretty.
It really is quite beautiful, this Kalbarri coast. There's no doubt about that. The contrast between the red rocks and the blue sky and the blue ocean is just stunning.
But yeah, those other tourists didn't know about the eclipse. I was like, that's why there's so many people. They were nice. I offered, do you want me to take a photo with all of you? Hey! Yeah, so they were excited.
There's the Murchison River flowing into the ocean. Over on the other side is the Kalbarri station that we tried to get into, but you can't get into it at the moment because of flooding. So we didn't get into it. I was reading on the map, Kalbarri had a population, or has a population of 1,300, and it swells over the winter season, obviously during tourist season, and it has 200,000 tourists a year. Crazy numbers. We are now heading to the Nature's Window, which is a little hole in a rock that's kind of shaped like Australia. At least that's what my memory tells me from 30 years ago when we were here. The loop walk cannot be accomplished. The Murchison is in flood at the moment, and they have closed the loop walk. So no looping for us. And this is what Kalbarri looks like now. Massive amounts of cars and people and everything. It's a beautiful place, and people now know about it.
We've got school holidays, plus people heading to the eclipse as well, plus just normal tourists as well.
And there we have the skywalk. If you're ever hoping to get it by yourself, I think the chances are pretty slim. This is proper cool. The old Murchison is pumping. That's the reason we couldn't get into Murchison House Station. The river was too high to get into the off-road camping areas, so we were CB'd out of that one. You can see those trees down in the middle of the river. I'd say they'd normally be in dry ground, but they're all flooded at the moment. And that was that same rain event that hit us when we were around the Albany area. One thing you can't experience is the updrafts that's coming up the side of this cliff. You can understand how easily it picks up the eagles and they soar along on these updrafts. That wind is just pumping up this cliff face.
Good place to lose your hat. I'm glad we have chin straps on our Akubras.
And that's how this skywalk is anchored into the base I'm sure over there in the information board there'll be a little bit of write-up about it, which we'll check out. That's cool. That's a pretty massive cantilever. That's the larger of the two skywalks. They haven't been completed that long either, only into the late teens. The path down to Nature's Window is all bitumen.
You have to negotiate stairs first.
Yes, bit of stairs, then bitumen. The only thing you gotta look out for is somebody that spat gum on the trail. I wouldn't imagine you'd see the Murchison in flood too often. This is what's called the loop, because the river does a big loop around here and almost touches itself again before it continues on. This is what Nature's Window looks like now. I don't know, is there 30 people there? 20 anyway. Last time we were here, I do remember this rock here that was an old ancient seabed.
Oh, there's not, the flies are on your hat mainly.
Flies?
I was trying to get the flies. Here is the Murchison River at the Z Bend in Kalbarri National Park. The water is pumping down. Terry's dying to get a canoe and go whitewater canoeing. It's beautiful.
I wish I had access to our old photos because we were here 30 years ago and I'm pretty sure this was dry. That'd be a sensational canoe trip through there. There's no shallow rocks as hazards. There's a nice strong V going right down through the center of the river. And you got these gorgeous canyons on either side of you. I wish I had the Grumman canoe, Dad.
Very nice. My friends and I like it.
Your friends, yes. It was getting late in the day, so it was time to look for a camp, which we found easily enough on the flooded Murchison River, outside the park boundary and just off the main highway.
Getting a cracking sunset this evening at our free camp along the Murchison River. Beautiful. It's turning the eastward sky pink.